Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I have not talked to the camera in so many days. It's crazy. But I officially moved. I'm in my new office / beauty room, although I have been getting ready upstairs in my bedroom closet, which seems a little weird, but there's room. But down here, it's a little echoey. I only have one carpet. And you could see where my daughter drew on my hope chest. Nice. Anyway, so today I wanted to show you some of the palettes that I got for Christmas this year and the palettes that I'm going to be focusing on for the year. So I like to use a palette for 5 to 7 days and then I kind of put it back in my collection. And I do that just so, number one, I'm rotating my collection, but also that I really know a palette, that it's not just that I go in for one color. I did in the past use each one of my palettes, a different one every single day. I loved doing that, but it became like, it was really hard. Sometimes I just wanted to like go into a familiar palette. So I went to using a different palette every week instead. But anyway, so I want to show you some of the palettes that I got. I'm looking down at the stack that's here. Let me show you. It's intense. Like what? This is some people's whole eyeshadow collection. But let me show you what I got. So starting with the first one, my mother-in-law got me the Natasha Denona Mini Glam palette. So my sister let me borrow the full glam palette and I liked it, but I love this. And the reason why is I did feel like when I did my 5 looks that they were very similar, beautiful, but very similar. And if I were to reach for that palette, I feel like I'd be reaching for the same set of colors. This solves that problem. I also love that it's not crazy cool. Like it's definitely cool, but it's not flat out silver. And I appreciate that. In the Glam palette, there's a lot of silver shades. And I use it sometimes, but I appreciate more of this. These colors are gorgeous. I love them. The looks are beautiful. It's definitely gonna be one of my favorites. I didn't put my rings on. Hang on. I'm back, properly ringed. Okay, the next palette reminds me of the first. So this one I actually bought myself at Five Below when I was with my kids. It's the Wet n Wild Color Icon 10 pan shimmer, 10 pan shadow palette. And the one that I got is in the color, I can't remember, something. It's whatever. I'll put it on the screen. Anyway, this is what the palette looks like. Now, I have things to say. Number one, some of these shadows feel to me, hang on, I gotta find the right one. Feel to me, this shadow in particular, this one right here on this finger, which is this shade, feels like a Pat McGrath shadow that I actually have in a quad, the Astral Blitz or something. These shadows, I've done 2 looks with this. I already love this. This is gorgeous. The green actually is a very deep green, so it's something that you have to blend out if you want to see the green. But this is beautiful, and I'm obsessed with this shade. $5 at Five Below. I'm sure it'll be at pharmacies and Target and Walmart and stuff, but I got this at Five Below. I can't believe it. It's beautiful. I'm not going to buy all of them because I'm not. Okay, then I got this Vizier palette, the dark neutrals, I believe, or it's called the neutral matte palette, but I mean, this is pretty dark for I think they have another neutral one that's a little bit lighter. But anyway, my husband got this for me he got this for me from me, basically, I purchased this during the BoxyCharm sale, and there's like one other palette in here that I did the BoxyCharm flash sale. This is like an $80-something palette, and he got it, or I got it, and I gave it to him for $9. So this is unbelievable. I love Vizier shadows. I really love their metallics, and I do love their matte shades. I have not used this yet, so this is something I will use later. I'm so... these 3 shades are just so unexpected in this palette, so I think it'll make for some fun looks. Then my friend Allison got me this Baroque palette. If it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. Anyone? Beauty and the Beast. Anyway, so she got me this palette. First of all, this is, I'm like, my other palettes are over here, so I'm looking. I am pretty sure this is probably my favorite packaging I've ever seen. It is just beautiful. I'm sure you've seen it, but I think it's gorgeous. So this palette is also very cool toned with some really great shimmers. It leans to like my lighting's a little bit odd because I only have one set of lights anyway, and it's still dark outside, but anyway, it leans to the blue, the steely part of gray. I think it's beautiful. So this one I'm really excited to use. Then this is not a new palette. This is actually a Lend palette, but I'm going to see how long I cannot give it back to my sister. This is the Dream Street palette by ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. And I never got this palette. I didn't think I ever necessarily wanted this palette, but my sister was like, oh, I'm not using it. And I'm like, let me borrow that. There are some really pretty shades in this one. So I'm excited to get some use out of it. I think it's a palette that can create like every single day shades, but every single day looks, but then has those pops of colors, which I really like to use. Okay, this is the Temptress palette by Alter Ego, and it's meant to dupe the Sultry palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love the Sultry palette, 100%. It's one of my favorites. In swatching, this seems similar. There's some differences in shades, but I have two things to say. Number one, I'm going to film a video comparing the two. Number two, this is much less expensive and available, where the Sultry palette for a long time wasn't available, and then they brought it back for Christmas and put it on sale for the holidays. I don't know if it's going away, if it's becoming permanent. I'll do some research on that, but I will compare the two of them, because if this gives you the same looks, then why wouldn't we spend less? Let's do it. Okay, another one from the BoxyCharm, I think this is the last one, is the Spanglish palette by Alamar Cosmetics. I love Alamar Cosmetics, and this is this color story. It's super bright. This color, no, which one? This one, Guayo. This one right here looks like a shade from the Celeste Divinity Celeste, whatever, the Pat McGrath shade in that palette, the one that was $75. So that shade looks very similar. And then there's still, you know, a couple neutrals, but definitely a colorful palette. I think this color is really beautiful. So this will be a fun one. I don't know if I'll get 5 looks out of it, but I think it's a fun one, and it will work well with the other Alamar Cosmetics palette that I have. Okay, another one from Alter Ego. This is so exciting. So this is the Artemis palette, meant to dupe the Metropolis palette by Natasha Denona. I do not have the Metropolis palette, nor do I intend to ever purchase it for a couple of reasons. Number one, the price. I have many other Natasha Denona palettes, and I don't want to spend that money again, although I love it. It's like my favorite formula, but yes. Second, when I looked at this palette, and I did look at the Metropolis palette and consider buying it, I was very drawn to these shades, okay? These very deep shades. And then my friend got it, and I was able to really swatch it. And what I found, so I'm swatching those shades right now. So obviously this is the dupe, so you know the quality might not actually be there as much, but these 3 shades, once they're blended out, and I did this using the real Metropolis palette, once these 3 are blended out, they become this. And to me, when I was looking at this palette, I wanted a navy eyeshadow. Like, I wanted it to look like this. I wanted it to look like this deep green. And they end up becoming much lighter. Now, again, this is the Artemis palette from Alter Ego, so the quality may be different. But when I swatched the Metropolis palette, it was the same. So I decided not to get it because those were the colors that I was most drawn to, and they weren't giving me the color that I desired. Not to say that these aren't beautiful colors, they certainly are. It just wasn't what I wanted. So getting the Artemis palette is so exciting because I can enjoy the benefits of the color story, knowing that these aren't going to be the shades that I wanted them to be, but regardless, I can enjoy this color story at such a better price, and for me, free, because I got it as a gift. But I'm so super excited about this. I may ask Allison to let me borrow her Metropolis palette so I can compare them side by side. But I will say, when you look at this cup, there's a lot to do in this color story. There are definitely warm shades. There are some cool tones, but definitely some warm shades, pretty shades. I always love the greens. So I think it will be definitely fun to play with this. I think I can get a whole lot of looks. Okay, another palette. My friend Allison really spoiled me. I've already shown you 3 that she bought me, and this is the last one that she got me. So this is the Tarte I don't even know what this is called, but this is like the Tarte holiday collection, and it's really quite fun. So it comes in this big box, and you get 4 quads of shades, and they come with like either a blush, a highlight, a bronzer. So the 2 of them have blushes, that's a bronzer, and that's a highlight, right? And then there's these 5 shades of color. What's so cute about this is when, number one, the mirror stands up, so that's always fun. At the bottom, there's this empty palette, and you take any one of these little guys and you stick it on here, and it's magnetic, and now you have your own little travel eyeshadow palette. I am so excited about this. I don't travel anywhere, but sometimes I like to bring my makeup from downstairs to upstairs. And so these I think are so great. And so there's 4 different color families. There's a blue, a very neutral one, this one that's quite warm, and then a pink kind of mauve tone. So I think it'll be really fun to play with these, and I do love this little palette. It's just so easy, and then they like all go back. I wonder if I can put other magnetic shades in here, like can I make my own like little set? I'm not sure. I will test that out when I do my review on it. Okay, last 2 palettes. So this one, who gave this to me? Either my mother-in-law. Oh no, my husband got it for me. So this is the Juvia's Place, the Nubian 2 palette. So I saw this at Ulta, and I'm like, I've always wanted to try that palette, and she got it for me. So, or she got it for me for him. It's very confusing. My mother-in-law does the shopping for my husband's side of the family, and I do the shopping for my side of the family. And then people pay us for what we bought. So it's like all the gifts come from the 2 of us, but then whatever. Anyway, let me know if you understand this, like in the comments. But okay, so the Nubian 2, I am so excited about this. I really got this because of Mandy Lee. I'll link her channel. She loves Juvia's Place just like I do, and she loves this palette. And she was talking about it at one point. I can't remember what video. I'll try to find it. But when she was talking about it, I was like, oh, that looks like a palette I need in my life. The pans are enormous. I never need pans this size. Look at that green. Look at this blue. I mean, don't mind that swatch. Anyway, look at these. They're so, so beautiful. She really talked about loving this shade as well. It's gorgeous. So I'm so excited to play with this. I think this one's great. It's awesome. And the last palette, the palette that is on my eyes that I have been wearing. This is my actually 5th look with it. I'll do a whole review on it, but here's the mini one. The Naughty palette by BH Cosmetics. This was like my number 1 thing I wanted, and I was upset that I couldn't use it earlier. I was like, please give me my present early. So this is the palette. It's so fabulous. Big palette. Definitely not if you travel, not one that you're gonna throw in a little makeup bag. But I love this. I love the different looks that I get from it. I'm gonna give, like I said, a whole review, so I'm gonna kind of leave it from there. I'm using it today. I'll just show you the shades that I used. So I put, what's the name of this one? Ho Ho No. Ho Ho No in my crease. I deepened it up a little bit with Kohl, which is not black. It's a very deep, you're not gonna be able to see this here. It has like maroon in it. Do you see that? It's like a brownie black with some maroon. So I put that along my lash line, and then I topped it with Candied Fruit, which is this really awesome shade. So that's what's on my eyes, a little bit of black liner and mascara, and the Ho Ho No shade underneath. So this I think is just beautiful. I love this. I think this is a palette you can use for a month and not even get bored. Like, it's great. So there you go. Those are all my new palettes that are in my collection. My plan for 2021 is to only buy 1 thing each month, makeup related. And so at most I can add is 12 more palettes, but I think I need to take a break from palettes because number 1, I'm gonna be full of storage. I keep looking over there. I'll show you a little room tour another time. But also I have all of these to play with. So you'll see some upcoming videos. Please comment with which palette I should start my 5 looks that I will post here. So let me know which one you're most interested in seeing. And I hope everybody is having a good New Year so far. I hope you are surviving our crazy times. Keep your family close. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.